Hello and welcome to our very first episode of Premier League Chatterbox. Today we're going to talk about transfers, and as always this summer has been incredibly busy with lots of money being thrown around and, as always, lots of rumors. One of the biggest transfers so far has been Lukaku from Everton to Manchester United, and it's being reported that this is a deal worth about £100 million. They say it's going to be $75 million up front, $15 million in add-ons, and about $10 million for Wayne Rooney. I don't know about you, but I never thought Lukaku would go for £100 million. I mean, he's good, but £100 million, that's a lot. Now, I think this just shows how out of control the market is right now, but I also suppose a player's only worth what someone's willing to pay for him, and apparently everyone is willing to pay a lot. Lukaku's at Man U now, and I think this is a really good signing for them. I figured they would come back stronger this year, but I really think now they can challenge for the title. Do you think they now have what they need to turn all those draws from last year into wins? Next up we have Liverpool, who signed Salah from Roma, and this seems to be perfect for them. He's very similar to Mane, who we saw go from a sub player at Southampton to one of the best attackers in the league for Liverpool. But they haven't signed a recognized striker. It looks like they're going to try to stick with Firmino up top. Do you think that's enough, or do they need to sign a recognized striker? Liverpool have also been linked with quite a few defensive players, which they desperately need. They conceded way too many goals last season. It looked like they were going to sign Van Dijk, but that deal seems to have fallen through. The Chiesa deal has not really taken off. Will Liverpool be able to wrap up these transfers? And if so, will they be able to challenge for the title, or will they be stuck trying to chase top four again? Let me know what you think in the comments. Now on to Arsenal, who after a really disappointing season are looking to strengthen and get back into the top four. They just signed Lacazette, who is France's number 2 striker behind Giroud, who Arsenal already have, but Lacazette does seem to fit their style better. So do you think he'll be able to perform better for them, or will Arsenal be left missing that cutting edge once again? Arsenal are also looking to sign Lamar from Monaco, but they've already had a few bids for him rejected, and it looks like Monaco are not going to let him go without a fight. If they can't get him, who can Arsenal sign as backup? And speaking of Arsenal, Manchester City are trying to sign their best player, Alexis Sanchez. This is one that I just can't imagine Arsenal letting happen. I mean, how can you let one of your best players go to a direct rival, someone you expect to be competing against for the title or for top four? If I were Arsenal, I'd rather sell him for $30 million less to some team in Spain or Italy rather than him going to a direct rival. Now, he only has 1 year left on his contract, so that adds a little bit of nuance to the situation. If they wait and hold on to him, then next summer he leaves for free and possibly to one of the rivals, and they get nothing for it. So, do you think it's better for Arsenal to just take the money, try to replace him now, or let him go for free next summer and possibly get nothing? And moving on to Chelsea, who have yet to really make any big signings in this window. They missed out on Lukaku, and reports are saying that Conte is not happy with their lack of activity so far. Now, they did just sign the center back Rudiger from Roma, but they need to sign a top striker, and now they're looking at Morata from Real Madrid. I'm not so sure he's the right player to help them retain the title, and I don't think Batshuayi can elevate to the level of, say, Lukaku, Aguero, or even Costa, who's now on the way out. So what do you think of Morata? Do you think he's a striker Chelsea need to retain the title? I talk about Tottenham, but there's really not much to say. They've yet to make any signings in this window. And this would worry me if I were a Tottenham fan. I mean, the last thing you want to do after a couple years of success is to sit back and say, job done. They need to keep on pushing if they want to take that last step and win a title. Now, they've been linked with Adrian Silva lately, but is that a big enough signing to really push them over the edge? Let me know what you think and who Spurs can sign to try to help them win the league. In direct contrast to Spurs, Everton have been incredibly busy this transfer window. They've already signed 10 players, including Wayne Rooney, and it looks like they're about to sign their 11th, Sigurdsson, from Swansea. They look to be rebuilding their entire squad, and they need it after a pretty disappointing season. But there are precious few names in that squad, and if they want to challenge for top 4, or even top 6 for that matter, it's going to be tough for them, at least on paper. In other transfer news, a player I really like, Jay Rodriguez, moved to West Brom. Hopefully he can get some playing time and get back to his best after that really bad injury at Southampton a few years back, and he hasn't really been the same ever since. And I'm hoping he can get back to scoring goals regularly at his new club. Zabaleta has gone from Man City to West Ham, which I think is a really good move for him. It was clear that he's on his way out at City. He was on the bench constantly. He's getting towards the end of his career, and he really wants to play before he can't anymore. And finally, Leicester have bought Vicente Ibarra from Sevilla, which I think is a really good move for them. After losing Conte to Chelsea last season, their defense has really suffered. I mean, I don't think anybody really expected them to win the title again, but I don't think anybody expected them to do that poorly. It's a good signing for them, a good, strong defensive midfielder. Should help solidify their defense. He's won a few Europa Leagues with Sevilla, so hopefully he could bring some stability there. That's it for this week. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for all the latest updates and happenings in the Premier League. This is PL Chatterbox, and as always, thanks for watching.